Amateur video shows a Syrian military vehicle destroyed by a roadside bomb. Elsewhere, well-armed insurgents train for combat. Here, Syrian military defectors join the opposition.
I was a sergeant major before I defected. After witnessing the tyranny of Assad's gang, I wanted to defend this country until the last drop of my blood, God willing.
The rebels appear to be having much greater success attacking the regime's heavy weapons. Analysts say this is evidence rebel forces are learning how to fight and exploit the government's weaknesses. Jeffrey White is an expert on military issues at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy.
They're starting to make the regime look more vulnerable. They're making it much more difficult for regime forces to operate in the countryside, and they're inflicting this steady toll of attrition, not just in combat operations, but through defections.
The Syrian military is now striking back, hitting civilian areas with heavy artillery and helicopter gunships, causing a large spike in civilian casualties. State Department spokeswoman Victoria Nuland.
By using now new horrific tactics, including the firing on civilians from the air by helicopters, added to the use of irregular forces, the Shabiha, this constitutes a very serious escalation.
Analysts say money and arms are flowing to the rebels from the Persian Gulf states. The U.S. denies it is sending weapons to the rebels. Analysts say the fierce fighting will lead to more bloodshed. Again, Jeffrey White.
For sure it's going to lead to more civilian casualties, one way or the other. Massacres, I would say, probably.
Analysts say the Syrian government cannot break the resistance, so it has turned to killing people in an effort to terrorize the population. The Syrian government says it is fighting armed terrorist groups. Joseph Holliday is a senior analyst at the Institute for the Study of War.
In the next 3 to 6 months, what you might see is a situation in which the Syrian state begins to dissolve, but the regime survives. I don't think that the rebels are anywhere near being able to overthrow the regime.
With increased fighting, the Syrian conflict is closer to civil war, raising fears of significant consequences for the Middle East. Meredith Buel, VOA News, Washington.